Midnight Ramblings with Toast and LordPhylax.
I was gonna say they're actually pretty well costed if you're looking on the secondhand market as well, which I always do.
Yeah.
And they have been a really good shout for my sister because I've been getting my sister into the game. And you know, as soon as I said she's like 25, so as soon as I said like murdering elves, you know, that hate men, she was like, hell yeah. Let's get in there. I was like, yeah, first ability is called Bathe in Blood. She was like, I need them.
Yeah.
So
I'm all in.
I'm trying. Yeah. Stormcast has been really good. So this is a nice little kind of like a nice little preview, and no one tell her, right? But she's a really good player. So I'm really hoping that like she takes this on and does really well with it. And I will train her. I will make her
You
a
should.
problem for everyone. So yeah,
Absolutely should.
but that's the thing. I feel like if you want people to really pick up the game, just give them Star Soul Maces to play, and they get high on the power, and then they're like, yeah, maybe I could be good with this, and then they go and they try to play elves, and it's like, oh no, this is the worst thing that I've ever done to myself.
Now I need to think at all times and like have an aneurysm. Like,
Soul Blade all over again.
yep. Legitimately, right? So Lumineth, right? This is my Lumineth list that I conjured up. So I'm a huge fan of having like 2 fastings at least in any list I make. So having a this is a kangaroo, by the way.
Yes,
A fucking kangaroo night.
I've killed a good few in my time. Not in real life, and not in Minecraft. in the game.
But like this list, like legit looks pretty solid. You've got like 4 guys who are like they're dwarfs. They're not elves. They're fucking dwarfs. But 3, 5, 2, 4, 12 wounds, toughness 4, awesome. Love it. Right.
I still feel like moving 3 for them is just mean.
A little bit, but like it's fine. That's
let
why we've
them
got
move on.
2 movement 12 guys. It's okay.
Yeah,
Or movement 10
sure,
on
but
him.
like they're 3, 5, 2, 4. Like, oh yeah, okay, they're gonna hit through chaff, but like a 2, 4? Come on, man. Like that's
For 85 points though.
that's
They
okay.
are so cheap for that profile. It's crazy good.
Okay.
Considering that they have the same profile as a Vulcan Flameseeker Scalebreaker, but 10 points cheaper. It's good. They're really good.
Yeah, they get the extra strength while what's their mountain stance?
Oh, I've reduced damage by 1, I think. So they're becoming really tanky.
I'm just thinking of are they range 2? Okay, yeah, all right.
They're really good.
All right, I'll give that.
This guy as well, for 145 points, he's a leader, which has downsides, but like 5-4-2-4, he's just a solid little
That's
blender.
gonna cut through. Yeah.
Like, just a nice little blender. I love speed, having a fast moving guy who isn't mounted, which is huge. He's not mounted, so he can ignore terrain and stuff.
Yes, because the kangaroos have hands. They have opposable thumbs.
And then the gimmick.
And doors.
The gimmick is this. So the Cathala has an ability called Emotional Transference, where you pick one of your models within 12, and for every point of damage that they've taken, you then pick another enemy model, roll a dice for every point of damage taken, on a 4+, do 1 damage. So this guy, you give him +4 wounds, he's got 32 wounds. You run him in, he's good in combat, he's got a wizard bolt for range. He starts killing things. When he gets low on wounds, this guy then bounces all that damage into somebody else and blows them the fuck up. They potentially roll 31 dice, potentially, and take potentially 30 to 31 damage. It's super stupid. I love it. So it's legitimately a strong list in combat. It's durable, it's fast enough, and it has a gimmick, and you can do this and have a good time. And TTS breaks.
3, 6, 9, 12. 12 damage.
And that's a low roll. You're averaging 15, right?
Yeah, that makes sense.
On the best possible day. But the fact that it's got a 12-inch range as well. So 12 inches to to one of your guys, and then 12 inches to an enemy. So it's got a massive bubble, basically, of who you can target and where. Anyone who's wounded in any kind of way and isn't dead suddenly becomes just a fun for bouncing damage. And because they're Lumineth, it's a triple that's expensive, but their battle trait, once per game, a double can become a triple. So now that of course, I'll use this double as a triple, and you can do it twice in one turn.
You get it.
Like,
the
real source is doing it, wait, and doing it again. So you roll 62 dice in the best possible scenario.
Yes.
And then just nuke everything.
I have been. I was gonna say I have been shafted by one of those before.
Have you?
I remember. Yes, I remember. It was when I was playing that stupid list of Ephilim and a bunch of Zinch horrors.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was this and one of the Earth Mages or whatever they're called. Who did the quad where you can't move away from them. And I was I have like six bodies here. I have 6 bodies here. I can move one of them into the objective so I can take it. And he goes, no, actually, you can't.
Yep. So actually, now movement 2, and also you all take D3 damage. Have fun.
Yeah. Yeah. And
they've got some tricks. Lumineth are the best elves by far.
I will say, so
the hats are stupid. I agree. Oh
my
god, the hats are fucking stupid.
No. Sir, I am Greek. That's Minoan inspired, like 100% Minoan inspired. And while it's ridiculous, I like it. It's my kind of ridiculous. Their armors and all of that, they're very like Greek coded. So like I
like the armor.
We love this.
I like his helmet specifically.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the well, it's not exactly Greek, but it's the flare at the top is reminiscent, I will say. But just in general, like it's just such unusual like designs. It's not like you know, as much as I love my corn boys, my cornflakes, kind of like skull obsessed barbarian isn't really breaking new ground, right? But archer elf on a kangaroo with like a helmet that looks like a either a dragon or some sort of weird like deer. Sick.
I can't remember what is a weird because I watch Animal Park with Steph a lot, which is about a zoo. It's a weird. Is it in Iblix or something? Has like those kind of horns? I think. I'm not sure. I could be making that up.
Yeah, ibex. Yeah. No, you were close enough. Hey. Yeah, there's also a similar one called Krikri. Animal.
Lumineth are the best elves because they are the best at not being elves. Lumineth are the best elves because they are dwarfs. Like,
I mean, right.
That's how that works.
So yeah, that's one of the things that I don't understand. There's all of these armies that are like interesting and thematic and wonderful, right? Mm-hmm. This is still like, I feel like as a model, the Cathalar is like, you need to know how to blend and how to what's the word? How to layer to get that face.
Yeah, when I saw that model, I was like, did they really have
Yeah.
to make a model that has like semi-transparent fucking veil over the face?
Yep.
Really?
Yes.
How are like noob level painters like me going to ever paint that model and do it any
Badly.
justice?
But that's badly, but that's allowed. Like,
Terrible.
you don't make all of the models look terrible so that they're easy to paint. You have to have a couple in there. Because, I mean, you know, you can just look at them, right? They're easy to paint.
That
I
is true.
did it in terrible lighting in a hotel.
Do they have shoes?
Do they have-
No joke. I'm planning a video, right?
Right?
And someone commented about a year ago.
Uh-huh.
And it was when I did like the sexiest war bands in Warcry or something.
Yes.
Best waifus.
Oh, yes.
Someone suggested it was probably Rob. Honestly, because Rob being Rob, they do best feet next. So I'm like gathering up as all the models have their feet on display, and this is one of them. To do a best feet tier list.
I mean, yeah, okay. It's not my thing.
Same.
When it's time to talk about best asses, I have a lot of opinions on that.
When it comes to best feet, right? Like, when it comes to best feet, it always has to go in anything Nurgle. To me, every time.
Yeah, no, that's fair. Also, like, we have to, since he's here, right? And
Fucking
I'm
Moon Daddy,
assuming,
first place for sure.
here you go. Right, so best of being. Look at this boy. The ass isn't big, but it's defined, right? He's doing his best. Look at it.
Yeah, he's trying.
Right. It's there. And on
If
the
he-
model, there's
if
a
he-
nice bit of curve to it.
If he bought,
Well-
like some of those leggings that enhance your ass,
That would work. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
some padded, he could rock some padded some leggings.
Yeah.
It'd be awesome.
Also, technically, those are feet. They're hooves, but hooves are
That
also
counts.
feet, technically. Yes. So there
That
you go.
counts.
That's a tune one. I can get you close-ups of my painted one.
Okay, VLS, yeah. I love that Lumineth tried to shed all their pride and arrogance by connecting with the spirits of nature of the world, and are now so prideful and arrogant about that very fact. that is so elf. That's the elfiest thing ever.
Best of being humble too, eh?
Have you seen the booty on you 40k Fulgrim? Isn't he just a giant snake? How's he got an ass?
Yeah,
What?
that's interesting. I kind of want to see that now.
Okay, Games Workshop. Where's Fulgrim? Come on. Fulgrim.
Tanari Cathalar takes on all the horrid sadness and dread of their people when it becomes too overwhelming for the rest of the people. So they live a pretty awful life. Let's talk about her feet. I understand your point. We are being respectful. We are admiring. Does a snake have a booty? What?
Unfortunately, the Games Workshop website doesn't have a 3D rotating picture of it, so I can't actually check for Fulgrim's ass.
I mean,
Which is
God
not a
forbid.
word I thought I would ever say.
It was a good thing they used to do, so therefore they had to stop doing it.
Yeah. He's 102 pounds. Fucking hell. What? It's a cool model though.
How much?
102 pounds and 50 pence.
That's fine. That's most of their big models these days.
It looks huge and also actually fantastic, but damn. 102. Jesus.
I'd be very happy to hear you say that.
Oh, he's got 4 head options, and they're all really goofy. I love it.
Yes. One of the, I don't know if it was Tabletop Tactics. There was someone like a YouTube channel where they painted him, but they gave him a flayed face, like it was peeling and all of that.
I think I saw that. It was like
It was sick.
yeah.
It was actually impressive.
It might not have been that one. It might have been the one I saw was the Batman comic where the Joker cuts up his own face and wears his face as a mask.
Yeah,
There's
yeah,
one that
that's
is
what it reminded me of.
inspired by that, and I was like, that is disgusting, and I love it.
Yes. Jess saw it, and she went, "Oh, it looks like it has kind eyes." I went, "Jess, no. This is
What?
this is not. This is not like the painted model looked like it had kind eyes, and I was like, no, don't try and find humanity in this. This is not this is not someone looking for redemption."
Of all the Primarchs, Fulgrim is the one who has no humanity left. Surely. That all
Right.
went away when he fucking killed his brother, right?
Right, okay, that sounds remarkably like 40k lore, and get the shit away from me. Everything that I know about 40k has been taught to me against my will. And any
I'm going to all the law.
and no. And any feel I know too much already. That's the problem. And it's at the point where I'm starting to enjoy it, and we're not doing that.
40k
not
law is
happening.
great. It is so over the top bonkers. It's so funny. I love it. You can pick any point of any part, anything in the timeline. Go, I'm going to read about that one bit, and you'll find something just the most over the top batshit crazy thing ever, and it's so good. It's so good.
The most recent one that got me was the little comic about Angron being like saying something along the lines of like, "Oh, you're really gonna fight me because it's just one puny human," and it's Gazgul, and it zooms in one of the skulls that Angron has, and it's Garrick, like it's Garrick's skull, and he's like, "Well, someone has to,"
Yeah.
and it's like, oh, he's got feelings.
Honestly,
I love my orcs with having feelings.
I love orcs. Orcs and 40k orcs are just like Iron Jaws and the orcs and Quill Boys and stuff in Age of Sigmar are fine, but the orc vibe in 40k is so uniquely them that it's impossible not to love them. They are so stupid in the best way.
I played a game of Spearhead with Iron Jaws.
Oh,
it didn't feel good.
That's not good.
It didn't feel like I was rolling enough dice. It didn't feel like I was doing enough damage. It was not great.
40k law, I was... So 40k law, I was like, it's all right. Then someone said, listen to Horus Heresy books, and it took me down such a rabbit hole of enjoying 30k and 40k law. Like, I need to read them at some point, Horus Heresy, because I know a lot about it just from being in the hobby for a long time. I've never read any of the books on Horus Heresy, and from what I understand, they're very good, and I should probably read them. For sure.
Well, that's what I was going to say. Heresy is the one bit where it's like, it's all the drama. I kind of love it.
Yeah. It is really cool. Like, also, like, little things like the endless Alfarius memes that always get us. Like, I think it's been played out since like 1995. All the I am Alfarius stuff, and yet every time I see an Alfarius stroke, I'm back there just like laughing my head off because it's always funny. I can't escape it.
Alpha Legion is hilarious. It is absolutely just wild, and I love it to bits. Like a bit that you have an entire. See, this is what I mean. I know entirely too much about this. I'm going to stop talking about it right now. I do have a friend who loves them to bits because he's a little chaos gremlin. and that's how I know about that. But yeah, just having an entire like bunch of them. If forced to, would you play 40k or 30k? No one can make me. Um, and yeah, having just these chaos gremlins just running around and just like you don't know whose side they're on. I hope that they never make it clear or it never goes anywhere. I hope that everyone who is really invested in the Alpha Legion never gets any closure because I think they'll find it hilarious.
Yeah, definitely. Like that's like the great thing about 40k lore. And I think like new 40k players aren't ready for it to happen. But like 40k lore didn't move past a set point in time for about 30 years. Like the lore just existed to a point, and then they never went past that point. They just expanded everything after, like, before that point. And then very suddenly, like a few years back, they then exploded the lore like 1,000 years into the future. All kinds of shit happened, and they've expanded. At some point, there will be a roadblock of lore, and the Alpha Legion will never get closure. That roadblock will be specifically before the Alpha Legion get any kind of answers. On purpose. They aren't ready for it. What got me wanting to read Horus Heresy was that the Alpha Legion book is a meme. Like the first line, I think it was like, I am Alfarius, this is a lie. Is it the opening line of the book? Is it that? I need to read these books now. Because they're playing into the meme in their official fucking book. Immediately. It's like, this is the account of Alfarius, but he's already telling you that he's fucking lying about it. And I love it.
Yeah.
It's so stupid.
It's good shit. It's good shit. Listen,
God,
as long as
a
it
short
keeps
story
you...
about an Alpha Legion mission to stop an Alpha Legion mission. Oh, it's so good.
That's just fucking funny. Yeah.
That's like on the level of like that orc who really liked his gun went backwards in time to kill himself to steal his gun. So he had two of them, but because orcs are too stupid to understand paradoxes, nothing happened like negatively. He just existed with two of his favorite guns, despite being dead. It's like, yeah, you gotta love them. It's the Alfarius book in the Primarch series, first in like, yeah, sweet. I need to read them at some point.
Yeah.
What time is it? It's like fucking 11 o'clock. It's been a long stream.
Yes, it is.
We should probably call up there, shouldn't we?
Well, I was gonna say, where are we? We're at 10 people, which is more than about halfway through our first match. So I feel like we have a responsibility now to just keep talking shit about like 40k and lore stuff.
You know
this
what,
is now a lore channel.
You know what game absolutely sucks?
What?
Kill Team.
Oh, here we go.
I can't stand it. Like,
so
I've never given so little shits about Kill Team. And I'm sure it's good, and that it's obviously very popular. But I can't bring myself to care or enjoy it. I don't know why.
Listen, I'm happy that Rob's found joy in it.
Yeah.
And he's, bless him, but he has offered several times to like show us how to play, because and I've tried to explain to him, like, it's a combination of my dislike for 40k. As much as I appreciate like some of the story elements, I really dislike any universe in which there's no one that does it right. I feel like when you're making your world, if there's no one who can just have a peaceful, positive existence, then that says more about you building that world than anything else.
The Exit and Eldar are peaceful. They just live their lives on little primal planets riding dragons.
It's the fact that they go out of their way to be like, everyone's bad. The Elder are bad as well. They've done something bad. At some point, they're going to tell you that they kicked a puppy or something, because that's
Well, the Eldar fucking murder raped the universe into being torn in half. So yeah,
yes.
the Eldar did bad things.
Yeah, exactly. So like, there's no like, that's the bit that's always held me away. Now, Kill Team specifically, because I see the parallels with like Warcry, and I can see how they had a nice like list building thing, and then they killed it, and then it's turned into this treadmill of content, and it just kind of it's just this nothing is allowed to just be moderately successful and fun. Everything has to be a constant content churn, like just continually things to buy. There's no peace. There's no space for someone to buy a box and just play that box for 2 years.
With Kill Team, like, so the thing that really turns me off on Underworlds, and not so much Kill Team, Underworlds, is that describes Underworlds to a T. Is that it is just a content churn, and their stuff comes in, then goes, and you'll never see it again, and it's bullshit. At the very least, the Kill Team stuff stays in stock for like seemingly forever, from what I can tell. So like, there's FOMO there for sure, but it's not like, if you don't buy this in the first printing run, you will never see this again, and that feels that's like fuck
no
up
the fact
Underworlds.
Underworlds really overdid it, and it's, I mean, Warcry overdid it for a while as well with all the Gur boxes, but like, yeah, that's one of the bits. Like, I understand that GW needs to sell stuff. I would argue GW at this point doesn't need to do anything. Like, GW is not fighting for its life. It's building a new factory. It's pursuing a bunch of different like avenues of like increasing capacity and capabilities, because people will just keep buying. Like, that's why they keep putting the prices up. We're down to 6 now. It's working.
What? Making everyone sad so they go away.
We're doom posting about other games, so yeah, that's what happens. Long story short, I'll just say, like, making a lot of SKUs is a problem that you create for yourself. And as much as I love having so many wonderful miniatures to buy, I can't buy them in the time frames that they want me to buy them. So unless they have them, we're up to 8. Yes. So yeah, like, if you want me to get into your game, make my purchases matter and make sure that there is a community around it. That's one of my frustrations with like Warcry is even if there isn't product, when people get up and they say, hey, there's not been any posts for 8 months.
Yeah.
They're not wrong. It just shows that, you know, hey, if a year ago or 2 years ago, you went out of your way and you spent 150, 160, whatever the Gur boxes cost to buy this game. Nowadays, today, we don't care about you anymore. Like, you got that. Good luck. That's it.
Well,
now,
when the constant churn of White Dwarf material too.
Yeah, and that was
There's
great.
A reason to buy White Dwarf.
Exactly. But it also showed you that there's like support. Like, putting out a mission here and there is not. It shouldn't be that complicated. And it just goes back to, you know, it's difficult to quantify metrics for community building and how that immediately translates into money. Therefore, it doesn't happen. And it's just making me sad.
I think I'm so being part of the video game industry. Like, I hate modern video games with a passion. I hate the monetization. I hate the business practices that are everywhere. And Games Workshop going down that route makes me really sad. It makes me even sadder that like lead designers in their games are former Ubisoft employees. Spoiler. And Ubisoft are like the scum of the earth. And it's just like, man, can we not copy off the video game industry, please? Just can we not do that? Can we not like prey on mental illness to make you sales? Can we not just have a nice, happy hobby? But on the flip side, being fucking crazy, you're too young to be around in this time period, Philax. Back in the day, Games Workshop had this thing where if a faction didn't sell, then they wouldn't update it ever. So in 40k, the Dark Elder was so unpopular, to say it now is because they're one of the more popular factions now, was so unpopular during like second, third, fourth edition, partway through fifth, I think, as well, that they didn't get any new models or a new book for multiple editions, but they still sold them. But they just didn't get any rules updates or new models. Because what was the point in making models and updates to a faction that didn't sell? And this transferred over to Fantasy. Wood Elves and Britannia. I think Britannia went 3 full editions without a new book or a single new model. And Wood Elves went, I think, 2. And it's like, Jesus. Like, imagine investing in those armies and getting nothing for years on end. Full editions. Back, this was before, it was like a 3-year cycle or whatever. This was back when like an edition could last like 5 years. Right? So like Britannia not getting a book for like 3 editions, that's like a decade or more of nothing. Zero love for that faction. And it's like, that was a time period of just like, maybe you will never see anything for your faction again, and there's nothing you can do about it. At least nowadays, they ram all their content down your throats with multiple emails months in advance. So there's that benefit, I guess. I think there's an in-between that they've missed that they're not aiming for anymore, but I wish they would. I bought the Wood Elf book before Age of Sigmar came out, not knowing Age of Sigmar was about to come out years ago. And I was like, oh boy, can't wait to collect. And then went to the store one day and were like, where Elf go?
But that's the thing, right? It's so first of all, the whole like, oh yeah, we're taking these off the range. Oh wait, we're bringing them back. Hey, wait, no, actually, like, pick one or the other, right? Number one.
The Wood Elf thing is actually even worse than that. So the Wood Elves didn't get a new book for Fantasy for like 7-ish years, right? If not more.
Wow.
They got a new book at the end of 8th edition. Right, so right at the end of 8th edition, they got a new book, they got new models, and then they destroyed Fantasy and didn't bring Wood Elves to Age of Sigmar. So they got a new book, they got new models, and they were taken away within like a year. After waiting for like more than half a decade.
But didn't it eventually find itself into Cities of Sigmar, like the old Cities of Sigmar?
They did until they got removed from that as well.
I mean, yeah. But that's what I mean. Like, in and out. Like, just come on, man. But yeah, no, I can 100% understand the frustration. And I do feel like if they had like a standard for our models are not getting retired for like 5 years, which would still not cover a lot of the stuff that they've retired. But anyways. And if they do, they're getting replaced by similar or better. I didn't mind when they brought the new Liberators. Yeah. When they brought out the new Liberators, I wouldn't have minded if they went, hey, we're updating the Liberators. But they didn't say that. They said, we're removing Liberators. Then 2 weeks later, they announced a box with the new Thunderstrike Liberators. These are not the same Liberators. Yeah, you can proxy them, and it makes zero difference. But, they're not the same. The old ones are retired, but actually you can proxy them. But it's just be like, these pretty. Buy them. And people will probably do. And then you're not losing any points with the old crowd.
I genuinely don't understand, right, why they continue to operate this way. Because back in the day, again, like, new Space Marines came out, right? And they got slightly bigger over time. They got new models, but they were just Space Marines. You could just use your old stuff or buy the new stuff. And then they made the baffling decision to release the Primaris range alongside the old stuff. And it's like, but these are clearly the replacements. But you've got both of these things side by side, and you're going to slowly remove the old stuff. And it's like, just do it immediately. What? Why? Why? It's like, it's okay to release updated sculpts. That's all these are. Why are we going through this process of no? This model range of Space Marines have to coexist with the old stuff, have their own rules, have their actual army book, have like 300 fucking profiles in it for no reason, and bloat that faction out to no end, and then slowly over like 2 or 3 editions, remove them bit by bit.
Yeah.
Just do it all in one go. No one would care. They would just use
or just replace it. Yeah, just be like, these are the new ones.
Just use their Space Marines as Space Marines. And they'll try the new stuff if they want the new stuff.
Yeah. I don't understand. The Iosaurus darting around. That's hilarious.
Yeah.
And also very true. No, that's the thing. Like, it just goes back to, I care a lot about this game. But there's only so much you can just see them do this. I really like the video from Hobby Jackal, because I feel like from all the kind of doom posting videos, his wasn't doom posting. His was very much like, hey, this is what's happening, and here's a brief history of what's happened before. And this is why I believe the things I believe, which I thought was a lot nicer than some of the other ones we've seen. But
the thing is, Hobby Jackal's actually not to gatekeep, right? Like, let's not twist it here, right? Like, when I say this, I'm not gatekeeping out other content creators, okay? But Discourse Miniatures and who the other guy, Uncle Adam, can both fuck off. Neither are part of the Warcry community. And both of them insisted on making their fucking doom posts and causing all kinds of drama and directly damaging the community. And like, Hobby Jackal is actually he makes Warcry content. He's a it's part of his thing. Like, him making a post talking about his current stance on Warcry, fine, that's fine. He's an active part of the community. But if you're just here to make fucking clickbait bullshit videos, fuck off, is my stance on that. And it gives me the fucking rage. Like, those two in particular give me the absolute rage. And the fact that they both release videos like a week apart, it's just like, fuck off. Oh.
Yeah, it was not great.
I'm burning the fucking bridges here.
The thing that really annoyed me was people that went, oh, well, you guys have done it. And I'm like, okay. So I might have gotten into a bit of a tiff online, and the reason was, have we done episodes of Wild Dice where there was a big, is Warcry dead in the front? Yes. The point of that was not that you clicked on our video and then we spent, I don't know, like 20 minutes being like, I'm just going to make things up. I mean, okay, we also make things up, right? But the whole point is statement. It gets you into a like hours and hours conversation about where the game is, how the meta is evolving, where you can find games to play, what are the problems, what are the good things, how to make your teams, how to play. It gives you the information, it pulls you in to give you the information on how to enter the community and how to make it like easier to be in this game, how to play, how to enjoy yourself. It's not, hey, come here, watch me. I do not push you to any other resources. I just take the view and I do nothing else.
Yeah.
There's no cooperation, there's no communication, there's no nothing. I think it's really clear.
Yeah.
The one and the other. And that's well, it just really wound me up.
That one Wild Eyes episode that it was a meme thumbnail, like an actual like known meme thumbnail, with our faces plastered on for fun, and then almost immediately we did the comedic like black and white sad music rain down the screen, Warcry is dead, Rob talking about the hot dog or some shit randomly for no reason, and then Aitan going, it's all a fucking lie. And then the whole episode was, from that point onwards, after like 10 seconds in, was actually discussing why people think the game's dead and why they're fucking wrong. At that time, which was like a year ago, where the game was also in a completely different state. Right?
Well, like, I was going to say, is it though? Is it in a completely different state? Because it feels like...
We got 2 FAQs since then, so yeah, I would say so.
Yeah, like, well, no, but what I'm trying to say is, yeah, I guess the game is not in the same state, but we are in the same situation. Like, someone posted a video with, like, big letters, Warcry is dead, and I went, that's silly. What are you doing? Literally 2 days later, FAQ comes out, he goes and deletes the video. And I was just laughing my ass off. And that was 2 FAQs ago. Like, people will just keep doing, like, people will do it, and they keep doing it. And I genuinely don't think there's any number of FAQs that is going to change that. And as I commented on Discourse Mini's video, like, when an FAQ comes out, it will be ignored by all of those channels. None of them are going to make a video of like, oh, is Warcry coming back? Like, when we do our UK Games Expo tournament, and it's got like a decent number, if it's if the London GT tournament goes ahead, because the thing is, like, London GT was looking into this. I've not heard anything since, and I wouldn't be surprised if all of this makes them go, you know, we thought there was a future. Which, if they ask us, we'll be like, yeah, absolutely. But all of, like, there is a future, but all of this kind of adds up and goes down, and it's not going to get covered. If a new edition comes out, like on the 3-year, like sometime in August, because I think that's the timeline. If a new version comes out, which I don't think it will, but if it does, they'll be like, they'll cover it, but it'll be like, ooh, can it maybe start selling? Can it be maybe become successful? And I'm like, there's people playing it. It's already successful. People are having fun.
Put those seeds of doubt in there. Yeah.
Exactly. Immediately it's going to be like, don't know.
Yeah. And I think
whatever comes, we'll get like just kind of cut to pieces and just criticized because that sells better. It was the same with Underworld.
Yeah.
And I have my gripes with the new Underworld system, 100%. There's a lot of people that have their gripes with the Underworld system, right? But you can't say that they didn't put effort into the game. They are trying.
Yeah.
Might not be trying in the way that I like, or anyone else, but they are behind that game, and they've shown it.
Yeah.
Just need to do a bit with Warcry. Just a tiny bit.
And like as well, like it's one of those things as well where it's frustrating because, for example, we know that the people who work at Games Workshop actually really like Warcry. People who don't go to their events and who don't, know that, oh, well, 2 events ago, like 3 people who work on the game, like, played in the tournament because they like Warcry, right? It's like, people who are like, the staff haven't abandoned the game. Clearly, it's just a team that's stretched. It's not the Warcry team. It's the Age of Sigmar team who work on all of the games at the same time. Right. So that's a shame when you've got a small team who work on 3 or 4 games simultaneously. Sometimes the one that's not doing too well or has less priority because there's a new edition for 2 of those games coming out back to back. Maybe there's going to be delays elsewhere, right? Logistical shit happens, but when people are playing the fucking designers are playing the game at tournaments and having a good time with people, that shit's crazy. You don't see that in 40k, from what I understand. You don't see that in Kill Team, from what I understand. You know what I mean? I don't know.
Toasty,
I don't know.
is it time to tap the sign?
Is it time to tap the sign? What's the sign?
The sign that says Warcry is the only awarded game system that GW has ever produced.
Is it really?
Which I love. Yes.
I didn't even know.
Yeah, I always say this. Origins 2000 and something, 20, whenever it came out. You know, in the dark times.
So when I made a video, that got a lot of backlash from Kill Team players, by the way, in my early days of YouTube, saying that Warcry was the best game Games Workshop ever done. I was objectively correct.
You are, I mean, yeah, 100%. 100%. No, it's one of these things. It's one of these things that I'm saying. I have tried to find if any of the other systems have been awarded, right?
Yeah.
That's okay. Yes. Sorry. I was reading the comments. So
yeah,
yes,
that's a good comment.
I have tried. Nothing recently has been awarded. Age of Sigmar, I don't think it has. Kill Team, I don't think it has. Maybe if you go back to like more times, maybe. But Warcry did,
because more time is shit.
I mean,
it plays like ass. It's a
listen,
good
at that
system.
time they didn't know any better. All right, that was what was there. But Doug says Adrillian and Pyregeist not selling out probably reads bad to them, but that's not factoring in that they're bad factions when balanced against anything else. Same goes for the Bone Centaurs and Sylvaneth. All my Age of Sigmar purchases are for my companion teams in Warcry, and I would guess that those purchases count towards AOS sales, even though I have no interest in AOS. Spearhead is just throwing 50 dice to find out nothing hits. First of all, Doug, I love you, man.
That is you said that exact thing in a Discord message.
I literally did. And I will say,
that is
like,
so good.
I see in Spearhead where the game is, and the game is in like movement and positioning and the cards and all of that. I love it. Listen, I see that there's potential for me to get better. However, going from Warcry to Spearhead is difficult because of all of those saves, because of all of that. It seems like nothing is happening. Anything that's happening is happening really slowly. I get that. I understand that. On the Age of Sigmar purchases, I actually had this argument again online when someone was like, well, what kind of reporting could you do? In my previous role, I was a reporting manager for a government organization. And I was doing a lot of reporting, internal and external. So I was saying, there are people out there, and keep in mind, I wasn't particularly, I was skilled enough, right? But there are people out there that can do incredible things. When they tell me, when people say that they have no idea what sells and where, and they have no way of finding it, there are like anything from software to statistical methods that they can employ to actually do market research. You wouldn't be surprised to hear that market research is a field that both makes and costs a lot of money. And it has a lot of like really in-depth ways of like figuring this shit out. It's sales. It's sales. That's where the money goes. Sales and advertising, right? So are they able to figure out how many people play Warcry? How much of the AOS sales are actually going to Warcry? Yes, they do. Do they care? No. Why would they care? They're still making money. They're still selling out.
Yeah.
They would have to care if they weren't selling out, and then they had to boost sales for one or the other. At the moment, they have Age of Sigmar stuff. They have some Warcry. They haven't produced it enough to care, obviously, because otherwise it would make the teams better so they could sell. And like, it's not a matter of whether they can or not. It's a matter of they don't. It's not a priority, but they can, and that's what pisses me off. So much of my stuff is Age of Sigmar, right? I get bespoke teams mainly because of the collection. Like, I like collecting them, the ones that I like, right? But for Warcry, it's so much easier to build your team and then do your individual purchases. Oh, I found this hero. It's going to work for my team. You get that. You don't have to buy a box. You just have to get a guy. I get a lot of my stuff a la carte from like secondhand places, which is incredible for Warcry because it means that, you show up and you're like, right, I actually, I'm building Sylvaneth because they're on the screen. I need 2 Tree Revenants and 2 Spout Revenants. You go and you get them individually, and you're not. That's a bad example because you can just buy a box of them and make them in different ways, but you know what I mean. It's a lot easier to get stuff a la carte, but they could.
I think as well, one of the things that Games Workshop, they still do, but I think there's a less of a gap now. So one of the reasons I assume there's usually a gap between here's a new Age of Sigmar release or here's a new Underworlds release, and then in the past there was like a month or 2 months, and now they're in Warcry. I suspect why that delay was there was purely so they could better understand where those sales were coming from. So, cool, this Age of Sigmar thing came out. It's cool. All the sales are obviously for Age of Sigmar. And then those sales will die down over time. And now there's Warcry rules. And then the spike in sales after that, those are Warcry players. They can see that, right?
Well, maybe.
I would assume that's one way they could do it. But I'm also not an expert.
No, but that's the thing. So it depends on what the averages are, because you're gonna have a lower minimum and a higher minimum, and over time you can make those kind of like. This is why I completely embarrass myself by not remembering the names. But if you take the numbers over time, you can forecast, right? And you can forecast with a certain amount of certainty. You have a lower limit and an upper limit, right? If the lower limit is higher than the upper limit of Warcry sales, you're never going to see it. Yeah. If the sales of AOS are so much bigger that, like, it would have to be that the sales are dropped enough for Warcry to make a dent that is visible. And that might be the case, but you might just turn around and be like, well, that's not more than the kind of variance that we expect to see. So, like, the numbers would have to be undeniable for that to happen. And I think that regular AOS churn is still high enough. Also keep in mind that, like, if they're only going by direct sales, that also kind of gets in the way, because direct sales through the shop are not all, maybe not even half. And any sales that they do through third parties, the time delay on that is significant. And especially when you have things like, oh, the new rules came out for Warcry. Great, but like, are people going to go out and buy because of those rules? Because like
That's
the
fair.
last batch of rules wasn't like, it was like if you have the models, it's fine. But it's not. These models are so cool and so groundbreaking that you're going to go out of your way and get them.
Yeah, that's fair.
so-
Apart from Rat Ogres.
Yeah, so it's a very like simple. It's a very logical approach, and yes, rat ogres, absolutely 100%. But it's like it is a sensible approach, but it's a
Yeah.
sensible approach for someone who doesn't do this. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
As soon as you start looking at the numbers, you should start having like a more what's the word? As soon as you start having numbers, I wouldn't even sophisticated. You should have a more sophisticated approach after you look at your first numbers, so that you can. Because then you're looking at the first numbers. If your immediate response is okay, now I know, then you're approaching it wrong, because you don't know that your measuring is accurate enough to take everything at face value. How do we have 11 people? I'm talking about reporting. Why?
This is
13.
wild.
That's wild.
Once again, this is another hidden wild dice episode that doesn't involve
This is
Rob or Ethan. It's just us again, just rambling.
Oh, that's
Also-
because we talk most shit.
My biggest indicator, right, that Warcry isn't dead, is just being experienced in the hobby. So Warcry can't be dead until something replaces it, and that might be Warcry 3. That might be Mordheim 2. That might be something brand new called Ember Guard. Who fucking knows, right? It doesn't really matter. Because Games Workshop are no longer in the business of fucking up and not having games in their markets they want to have games in. So we saw this with Fantasy in Old World. They scrapped Fantasy. They then lost 100% of their market share in tray-based, large-scale, rank and flank war games. They were no longer in that space at all. Other companies filled that space and made money that they were losing. Even though Fantasy wasn't doing well, they were making money off it in some way, and they also had influence in the space. When they aren't there anymore, other companies make profit. They did this with Blood Bowl. They did this with where Blood Bowl, they scrapped it completely, and then Guild Bowl and other competitors came in and took that share of the market. And they had to then backpedal, remake Blood Bowl, re-release it, and try and get it back, get that market back. They've done that with Old World, where they've, like, years down the line, had to then run in and make a whole new fucking Old World, like fantasy, basically. And it's like, shit, they don't want to do that again. If they want to have a skirmish-based fantasy game, Spearhead is not that. Underworlds is not that. That's Warcry. And until they have their replacement to Warcry, which might just be more Warcry, Warcry will be alive. It'll probably still get rules-based updates and FAQs. And until something is there to take its place, it will still exist. And that's my take. And it's I think it makes sense. It's fairly simple, and yeah.
Yeah, no, it's highly correct. And also, I will add this little addendum to it. What is their cost for running Warcry?
Yeah, nothing now. It's fucking online only. There is no cost for
What,
it.
an FAQ every 6 months, every
Beyond,
8 months, however long it is?
Translation costs, right?
Yeah.
Whatever that is.
But like, what is that cost versus like the amount of AOS sales that they're getting?
Yeah.
Right? So we are putting minimum effort for a decent return. So, and we already have Warcry sets to sell. So why would they, like, I understand the people that are like, I understand the people that say, I want product. If product doesn't exist, then I'm losing interest. I don't agree with them, but I understand them.
Yeah.
Right? and a lot of people mentioned I had a lot of conversations that like that's a lot more in the States because they don't have the third spaces that we have here, the groups where you can just go, the community groups where you can just go and play. Stuff is not getting played. Stuff is not being enabled unless it's selling. I get that.
Yeah.
Right? But like, that's not the case everywhere.
No.
And that's not a valid reason. Like, it's just, I get if that's not for you, but there are a lot of people out there that this is for. There's so many people that will comment on your videos and on the Reddit that they love Warcry because of the list building, which is difficult to find in another game of its size, but also because they're like, you know what? I can keep up now. I can buy a warband every 2 months, and there might be a chance that I get all of them, and I can paint them, and I can play with them, and I can have a good time, right?
Yeah. And not to mention, Warcry has like it's got like almost, if not more than 60 fucking factions.
Yeah.
It has
like
enough
at
content.
this point, they could do nothing for the next 5 years. None of you in the chat have 60 factions that you have played. Like, and I'm not saying you have to play all of them, but like, you at least have like 5 that you haven't played and you kind of want to give it a shot, right? If I have like something like 20 to 30 that I've played, I'm in the chat and I've played all 60. Shut up, Toast. Like, I have all of this. I have ones that I have to want to play that I haven't like finished putting together or painting. And like a couple of months ago, we were having this conversation. I was like, "Yo, Nurgle looks fucking great," and I was like, I know that's gonna be like a shitload of money for me to like get everything that I want to do the warband that I want.
Yeah.
But like it itches. And that's also thematic. So like, yeah, I don't know. Like there's a lot there. There's a lot there for anyone that gets into this game. And that's why I get really frustrated when we have all the, oh well, pack it up. That's it.
Yeah. I was like, just to segue slightly, like also like, I know that I make tier lists, and my tier lists are, I would say, more jokey than other people's tier lists. Tier lists exist, and tier lists are like bottom of the barrel Bane content, right? Ignore them. Ignore tier lists. I'm sure I say that in my own tier. I'm sure I say in my own tier list. Ignore my tier list, because Daughters of Cain are considered like D, E tier, F tier, shit tier warband. Currently, recent tier lists for Khorne Bloodbound are up in the A tiers. They are considered a really good warband at the minute. Last time I was doing a tier list on them anyway, they were pretty high up there. I think it was 8 with 8 10. And it's like, I just won a game 12 to 8 with Daughters of Cain, with that massive gap in perceived quality. You can play a bad warband. Most warbands are not as bad as people make out competitively. Most people who watch content on Warcry are not competitive players anyway. This is a wonderful set of statistics that Off Meta Musings pulled over a very long time of polls and questions and just probing people, that most people who watch Warcry content are casual players, so not hyper competitive like, say, we are, Philax. And then, but they enjoy watching Warcry content. And it's a shame that our influence in this scene pushes people away from warbands that are completely fine in a casual setting. Daughters of Cain are fine casually. Idnath Deepkin are fine casually. Cypher Lords are fine casually. They might not do amazingly well in a hyper competitive scenario, but you're not. The people who are watching content are being influenced by that aren't in that very small niche within the hobby. right? Like hyper competitiveness is not the mainstay of Warcry based on the metrics that we have. And if you like the look of a warband, like, I've got Twist Wield here, right? I've played Twist Wield a lot. I like Twist Wield. I don't think they're great. There are definitely ways to build and play Twist Wield. They are not as bad as people would make you believe. They are completely playable, and they are fun in their own way. And if you like the look of something and you want to give something a go, then play it, right? And on top of that, one of the best ways to play any warband in Warcry is to just play them as a one box at first. Into anything. Like, not in one box. I don't like. It's not just, oh, well, I'll only play against other one boxes. No, like, play against anything with that one box. And learn how the warband's meant to play. Like, they've been designed specifically to run in this one box. One of the best ways to run Cypher Lords, no joke, is one box Cypher Lords. You can optimize all you want with Cypher Lords, and I almost guarantee you that you will make a worse list than if you just ran one box Cypher Lords. Wiltucker Hunters have their gimmick list where you've run 55,000 crossbows. It's a great list. One box Wiltucker Hunters is legitimately one of the best ways to play Wiltucker Hunters. It's one of the best ways to play Pyregeists. It's one of the best ways to play Twist Wield. It's silly that people don't play these warbands because they're considered bad, when actually they're not that bad and they have play if you actually play them. And it's not like I don't want to say a skill issue, because that's just bullshit, right? That's not helpful to anybody. But it's actually trying a warband and learning how they work. And some warbands don't require a lot of learning, and those warbands tend to gravitate to the top of tier lists because they are good and they are obviously good. And some of the ones that are considered bad are fine. They are completely playable. You could take them, like Cypher Lords went 2-2 at Warhammer World in one of the most stacked tournaments Warhammer World's ever had. They went 2-2. That's a fantastic result for fecking Cypher Lords, who are considered to be the worst warband in the game by a long way. And,
so,
you know, it boils my piss a little bit.
No, you're not wrong. You're 100% correct.
I've lost the point.
No.
I was trying to make.
No. No, I mean your point is that, like, I think that what your point is, and this is something that we have a lot of back and forth on. There's only so much that you can learn about this game by looking at it objectively and weighing up all the fighters and going, this guy is an efficient fighter and this guy isn't. It's one of the things that Eitan has always said with his points algorithm. Like, it's been touched by other content creators, and also it's the environment in which it is. It is, a lot of it is a skill issue. Dan talked about it, Saltic Sea talked about it, how it's starting to become an issue of, like, the top players are too good, they have too much skill, they can make everything work, and then, you know, we sit here and we go, well, you can play everything. And I agree with both of you, because I've seen you take truly absolutely garbage teams and do really well with them, right? And I'm like, how? Because you make the right decisions at the right time, and because you also know the mechanics of the game.
I'm going to say this, right? And people can argue all they want, but that out of all the players who play Cypher Lords, all two of them, I'm confident in saying that I've played the most Cypher Lords of any person on the planet.
Yeah, you've done really well with them, because
you need to. It's time.
Yeah,
you've got to invest time and also mental effort. A harder warband requires more headaches in game.
But it doesn't require the amount of time that Age of Sigmar does. It doesn't require the amount of time that I would even say Underworlds does, right? And another thing that Dan said on his video is the local meta, right?
People forget
over in the States,
local metas.
Yeah, and it's something that, like, for my hand in our community, I've always tried to push towards, and it's play fun stuff. Because if everyone takes the same like 6 lists, if everyone takes Varangard, no Butcher,
Vexmore.
the Vexmore, and the Ogre,
Former Crusher.
and the Formeroid Crusher. Yeah, if everyone just takes the same list that we
Gutlord.
know are efficient. Gutlord, that's the one. Like, you just don't. I understand that that's, that's the most efficient. A lot of people like play, that's the way they like playing. But we are lucky, and we've worked hard to curate this space where people can play what they want, and they have a pretty good like chance of doing well. And a lot of it has to do with your familiarity with the team and with the skill that you have. And the only thing that I kind of disagree with Dan is this isn't a hard game to master. It's a hard game to always make the right decisions, but like it doesn't take long to get a handle of sequencing and how important it is to the game. It doesn't take a long time to learn the abilities of the kind of warbands that you see often, and learning how to kind of stay out of threat ranges and stuff like that. Like,
Yeah.
and
There's a lot
to
of
me,
skill expression in Warcry that I think is often overlooked.
yes,
In favor
well,
of
people
raw, big, smashy stat.
people see the different. People sometimes confuse skill expression with like ceiling, like the complexity of the game, and learning all of it. Because skill expression isn't in learning 30,000 rules, right? Skill expression is knowing the 5 things that happen and knowing when to use each of them, right?
Yeah.
And I would say that it's more skillful when everyone knows the same 10 things, and then the skill is in how you like play over your opponent, than having 10 people that all remember about 60% of the available skills, and then hoping that you remember the ones that were useful.
Well, I think Off-Meta Musings, Eitan, right, is one of the best Warcry players in the world, easily. He has probably the most tournament wins out of anyone that I know. In fact, he won like 4 tournaments last year alone. Like he went like 28 and 0. That's insane, like results, right? And he's still dealing now. He cannot play Kill Team. It's not like he doesn't like Kill Team. It's the rules bloat in Kill Team. He dislikes to the point where he struggles to enjoy the game. And I find it interesting that one of the best players in Warcry can master a game like Warcry and play it to such a high level because the system is so slick. It's such a smooth system to learn and to play and to get that mastery of, that once you get there, you can express yourself in. He's called Off-Meta Musings for a fucking reason. His lists are insane. They're so skewed away from what you would expect to be on meta, and he's winning tournaments with that. And that's not because he's bad at parsing rules or he's playing a game that's simple. It's because he's playing a game that fits exactly the amount of like rules to skill expression to understand. I mean, they're different games, and as complex as Kill Team may be, or more in depth, one may argue it could be. I would say that they are offering different experiences, and they're both very complex games that express that put their complexity in different ways. Warcry is very easy to pick up and play, and the rules more or less float to the back of your mind, so everything you do is done in a way that is not hindered by can I do this? How do I climb this building? What ability does this guy have? So like, what selection of equipment does this guy have? What numerous abilities do they have? It's like, oh, cool, this guy does this one thing, and I can move with an incredible amount of freedom. Well, cool, let's now take this and then play it to like the absolute height of where it can go. And there's a simplicity to that is beautiful. And I've mentioned it before in videos, and I think it's one of Warcry's biggest strengths, is that it is so smooth. It's such a smooth playing experience. And it allows you to express yourself in all kinds of ways. And that is awesome, right? Video games, competitive video games, and games, war games, to me, are heavily about expression, whether it's skill or not. And Warcry is one of the pinnacles of doing that, allowing you to play your way in whatever way that may be. And it's awesome. And it's because the rules are so easy to pass. But that's just me.
No, you're right. I'm gonna.
Is that a Karanak pun?
Woof woof. No, like I think Aitan's success, and you know, you can clip it if you want, because like I'm not gonna stroke that man's ego too much. But yes,
you only came second at Warhammer was, right?
Right? No, I mean, no. It's for me. It's the fact that like he plays things that are not. They're skewed, but they're not easy. And I challenge anyone to try and take those lists.
Fucking struggles.
He does. He does. But I think he struggles less than anyone else would. Because I've tried to play.
He loves it. He loves it.
Yeah.
That's how he likes to play. He likes to find that struggle.
Exactly. But it's the fact that he plays what he likes and what he and the way that he enjoys it. Because I think if I give him my Warrior Chamber list, I don't think he's going to do badly, but I don't think he's going to enjoy it as much. And that's
I think you'll get bored.
Well, yeah, possibly. But the thing is, like, if I try to play anything that is like above 10, like my brain starts hurting. And the other thing is, yes, 100%. This is why I love this game. Because the community that it builds and the people that it draws in are what I would like, what I'm happy describing as my tribe, right? Slightly older, very neurodivergent people. So, you know, I'm just saying it's fun. And the other thing is, because it's so simple, it's easier to play in matched play. Because before matched play and competitive play was a dirty word, all it was is people that cared about playing the game right?
Yeah.
So, like, I've seen people that have said, like, hey, been thinking about coming to a tournament, but I don't know if I'm ready. And I'm like, do you know how to play your warband? Yes? Okay, you're ready. That's it. Because you don't have to win them all, right? First of all.
Yeah.
Even the best of us come 2-2 with a highly meta team. So you know, I'm not still mad about that. Don't worry about it. But yeah, like it's just it's great. It's just fun, and the important thing about this is there's so much material for you to clip from this.
I know. I likely won't, because I'll forget by tomorrow. Like,
no, I'll remind you. Velas, Warcry as well. I love narratively in terms of creating your own little elite team and being able to ally in other stuff that you love but may not collect. That army is great. I've got so many models for armies I never collect just because I want them in my little team. Yeah, 100%. And it's also really nice to see when people will make a team with allies and then the ally they just scratch built so that it fits the team. Like
I did that for the first time.
Yeah, you did. and
I
it's
did
great,
that.
and the game really like lends itself to that. And I'm really proud of that for you because you did really well with that. It was
Oh,
really
thank you.
cool. It didn't look like a kit bash, like it looked like an actual model.
I've
And it was
never,
sick.
I've never kit bashed anything before. Like I'm like terrified of going away from like what's on the instruction sheet. I hate painting because it gives us a lot of stress, and I decided to make a little Knight of Shrouds out of a wolf and a ghoul, and it is my pride and joy of my collection
Yeah,
because I
all of
made
them
it
look
myself.
incredible.
Big
I
fan.
really liked how kind of dark and gritty and full of blood they were. Like they
They're
were
gross.
against. Um. Yeah. No, it was great, and that's another thing. Hey. Oh wait.
Hey,
What's your first tournament? What's your first tournament?
it's
Tell us.
it has to be UK Games Expo, right? It can't line up so perfectly.
Don't stop. There's other tournaments around that, but I just it's gonna make me so happy. Is
Is
it?
it UK Games Expo?
Yeah,
Just like
don't scare the person off. Come on. Although I was gonna say,
oh
oh,
my
War
god,
Crash! Yes.
yes, I got so
Oh,
I got invited to go there.
did you? Oh, that's really nice.
I got a message from the people who are running it saying congratulations on your success at Warhammer World. Would love it if you would come to is it Poland? Yeah, Poland.
Yeah,
To go to Warcrash, and sadly I couldn't make it. So I wasn't
yeah.
able to go.
I looked into it, but there's a lot of the regulars that are gonna be there.
Yeah,
And I'm actually really excited for it. It's giving me the itch again. And I really need to go to the doctor about this itch. But no, it's once again getting me to look into maybe tournament coverage. Cause like
yeah,
I just love that we have moved to fewer events, it's true, but those events are bigger.
yeah,
Um and
yeah.
I am very excited for it, and I'm really happy that's happening, and I really hope that GW just catches up and just supports it in any way, shape, or form. But
Yeah.
yeah,
How many players are going to UK Games Expo, or how many tickets have been sold for that?
we are currently at, I want to say 44 or 45. I haven't checked in a while. We're a month
That's
away.
a big ass tournament.
Yeah. Very excited about it. The narrative as well. Okay, so little update. We have one ticket remaining for UK Games Expo for the competitive. So the last I checked, there were 5 remaining. We were at 43, not 44. We were at 43 because someone refunded, and then we are now. Oh, guys, I have to paint terrain now. Like, no, it's fine. I we only have 10 people in this chat, so it's not you hear that, GW? Oh, trust me, they will know. But yeah, I am working, and a couple of friends have come forth with more sets. So I just want to make sure that on the day we have the potential to maybe put on a couple of tables if we get stragglers just coming in. But I am like super excited about it.
Yeah, I'm excited. It's just awesome to see that because this is the second. I know it was Tabletop Scotland was last year. Like the little UK World Cry scene that you've grown from yourself. It's awesome, dude. It's awesome to see that it's such a massive event is being hosted, and there's more to come in the future, hopefully.
Yeah, I'm still hoping. So sales for TTS haven't started yet. and I'm gonna set up my summer tournaments.
Yeah.
Because I have like the kind of like not feeder tournaments, but like promotional tournaments. Because it's not that you have to win in that tournament to go to Tabletop Scotland, but top
Yeah.
place does get free tickets. And I know I'm doing at least 2 of those.
Well, I'll be
Oh.
heading to at least one of them because I need a journey up to Scotland again.
Yeah. Well, it was really nice having you. So yeah,
Oh,
and
thanks.
like Glasgow and Edinburgh are so Edinburgh is not in the lull, but Glasgow is, and I'm hoping that as soon as people know that there's tournaments coming, they'll start prepping for them and like show up again.
Yeah.
But see if I was like. If it was easier for me to do events like down south, like that circle that is like Nottingham, Manchester, Birmingham, like that kind of like central zone, I feel like has a lot of potential for games. But yeah, I'll go back on my nice little bit of like there are people around you that want to play this game. There are people around you that haven't played this game and would like to. The way you find them is by going to clubs. I was gonna say being obnoxious, but like not being obnoxious as a person, but just like being very persistent about your love of the game. Because there's been tons of like events that I've gone to, like the kind of like events that is like modeling shows, and it's full of like tanks and World War II stuff. And then they go, right, well, you can have a table in the corner. And I sit there and I might see like 2 people that come up and go, in the entire like 4 hours or 5 hours of the event, 2 people will come up and ask some questions about Warcry and maybe play a bit. That's 2 more people. Like, it's a Saturday. I have more. And then I've gotten some really good friends out of that. They've had really good times coming to tournaments and stuff like that. So if you can do that around you, do it. Put your little group together, and like it'll grow over time. You'll have a good time. You'll go to events. And there's a lot of groups like that we've just met through the Warhammer World events.
Yeah.
Where it's just like, and I just love them to bits, all of them. And I'm really looking forward
if you build it, they will come.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to putting a really nice quality event on for them next month.
Yeah. There was going to be, sadly it's being shut down because limited space. I tried to get the Northeast Games Expo, which is like in 2 months' time, to host a Warcry tournament because they are expanding every year. And they do Warhammer tournaments, vaguely Warhammer tournaments, don't say which games. And try to get a Warcry event in there. Alas, there was no space this year, but there could be next year. So tournaments around the country with potentially the London GT at some point if they ever get back to you. Your Scotland stuff. UK Games Expo doing things. Hopefully Northeast Games Expo doing things.
Yep.
Warcry's
I'm really hoping.
Warcry is as alive as you want it to be.
Exactly.
It dies if you abandon it.
Yeah.
That works. But I think we should call it there because it's almost midnight.
That's a good idea.
So, thank you all for joining in on these 2 wonderful games. Elves got their revenge, and elves also died in droves based on at what point you joined. And if you missed all the games, then you've sat here for about an hour listening to us ramble whilst looking at Twistwield. Because I had to position them so they're all nicely arranged in these little circles.
And it's funny because we went wide and we went deep. Like we talked about everything and we talked about it in detail.
Yep. Thank you for. Well, I'm glad you enjoyed the stream, and hopefully there'll be more streamers in the future. Unless the game dies, of course, then the streams will end and you'll never see us again.
Oh, shush. Heinz D, really, honestly, good luck with your tournament attendance. I think you're gonna have a great time. There's a lot of people that I've seen that have signed up for that we know, and they're really nice.
Yeah.
And just in general, like, yeah, really happy to see.
Keep us informed. Next time you join the stream and the events happened, let us know how you placed. Be good to hear.
Yeah, 100%.
I'm glad. I am glad you enjoyed the stream, Connor.
Yeah.
But
Sick.
Phylax, as always, thank you for coming on and staying for a lot longer than you originally planned to.
It's fun.
I'll now need to relieve my wife, who is downstairs and wants to go to bed, I think. So she's just texted. So I should probably let her go to sleep now. Awesome. Everyone, thanks for putting for the stream. It's been awesome. I'll catch you all next time. Toodaloo.
See yas.
Sorted.
Nice.
Cool. Dude,
you honestly... anytime, man. You have so much... I am going to badger you. Like, there's a lot of good...
Groovy.
Welcome to the post-toast credits. A massive shout out to all of my patrons and members, but an extra big shout out to my algorithmic demon slayers, Andy Morris, blah blah blah, Brioche, the Head Knight of Paint, Heinz D, LordPhylax, Maps, Sable Saver, Steve Bean, the Houston Toad, and Velas. Thank you all for continuing to support this shit show of a channel, and I'll catch you all next time.